covering mainstream news for somebody else. But you know what? The most seen black man on television today is Steve Urkel. No offense against Jaleel White, because, you know, brother got to make that money, you know, doing what he got to do. He's probably the richest man in TV. But Steve Urkel is the motherfucking most seen black man. So we got to understand, okay, this is where we are. Now, I'm just saying, everybody else on television has balances. We don't got no balances. None. And I talked to the head of United Plantation of Negroes. And you know what this person had the nerve to tell me? Like, well, really, we just think you have a different agenda. Yeah, you got damn right I got a different agenda. Gotta clean up all that bullshit you kicking out there. Just give it one show. We can talk, you know. Ask people around the country, what do you really think about UPN? Homeboys from outer space. Who thought of that motherfucking idea? Hey, you know, hey, check this out. Check this out. There's no offense against Flex and what's the name?
Down Bell.
Down Bell, they cool people. My man, what's his name? Michael Collier, cool people, right? Matter of fact, Michael Collier was on BET saying, oh, Chuck D talk about our show. He the one that brought Flavor Flav in the world. But Flav got a balance, believe me. There's about 9 of us one way and Crazy Flavor the other way. And barely we balance as well.
Yo, wait, what happened? What happened?
That's all right.
What happened? What happened, though?
I said your clock is really shrunk these days.
Who said we don't Flavor Flav in the world, G?
No, it's a long story.
All right.
But anyway. So, no knock against the brothers doing their job, but I'm like saying, you know, what went on in the press room when they came up with this idea? It's like, you know what? UPN says, we'll take that show. South Central or those other shows that was on was out of there after 2 weeks because they said something important. Now, regardless, people say, you know what? Ratings count. Money is what counts. Well, people making money selling drugs. Fuck that. Does that count too? It got to be some kind of balance when you talk about an image of a people. Now, I'll tell you all this. If you don't think images could sway the mindset of a people, then check this shit out. Black community has no control over its education, right? Its economic picture, or its enforcement, which means no control over its environment. When you don't have control over the reality, fantasy world can take over and replace it like that. The projected images come from other images and other situations that have power bases, which is television or radio, whether it be Hot 97, ABC, Fox Network, Def Comedy Jam, whatever the fuck, right? Whenever you don't have control of your realities, not only does art imitate life, but life imitates art. Now you write that shit down, because that's on the real. You go around, you ask kids what they want to be. They want to be in an NBA because it's fantastic, or they want to throw their skills. And the doctors, lawyers, and the accountants, and sales staffs, and people who are behind the scenes, writers, you know, publishers, and people like that, that's like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that there's a door on that, but it's just like, yo, I ain't trying to be that. Why? Because you don't know about that. Oh yeah, but the Cosby Show is like the doctor was married to the lawyer, and that shit ain't real. I remember I had heard all the criticism when that came out. But you know what? It held its fort and it was balanced. You could go on 10 crazy shows and the Cosby Show still held the balance. Right now, there's no balance. I don't care what you say. New York Undercover is a balance that shows, you know, blacks in a serious dramatic role. And not because I'm in Soul Cafe. I ain't propping just like that. Giving it to you how it is. So that's some kind of balance. The book I'm coming out with around the same time, that's the cover right there. Co-authors, my man, Yusef Elijah. Where you at, Yusef? And his wife Shakir. Been working on transcripts for the last 3 years. It's over the 10-year experiences. Rap, race issues, experiences around the world. Coming full circle into where we're going to go the next 5 years. And it's probably going to come out the same time as the album. But hopefully it can be some kind of insight. And a book is a book, but you know what? Hopefully we can start a series of books. I know Griff right here has a lot to say in a book that a lot of y'all would love to read. We know there's a lot of rappers out there that we could parlay into the book industry because there's an audience out there that wants to gravitate not only to book, but to CD-ROM, DVD. Anybody familiar with DVD? DVD is about the size of the CD. In the CD-ROM, you can put 8 hours of stuff on. You can put 3 movies back to back on it. Or better yet, you know, talking in computer language, you know, massive megabytes of information. In shit. So, hopefully the book can be like an insight into my terradome of a mind, because I'm crazy as shit. But it will also maybe open some doors to some situations. A publisher, Delacorte Press, is in the house, and my book agent, and my partner, Walter Leapart, in that particular area, and forward by Spike Lee, so I gotta track Spike down. But, you know, trying to make inroads. And there's a lot of companies out there. I suggest more black people, you know, we get into the area of book publishing, agentry, you know, things like that.
Complete, by the way, lyrically. We from my man Charlie and Chris Aretha to give me some music. But it's called Nigga Notes and Quotes of the Black World Revolution. And some other things we doing in reference to this the REACH program. I have this concept called the academic boot camp, which I'm going to try out, starting with my daughter as she graduates high school, provided that she gets a scholarship, or however we plan to send her through college. We're going to keep her out for a year. And that year is very important, at 365 quarter days, simply because she needs to take that year in order to get a knowledge of herself. Not only that, she needs to learn self-defense and a skill. I would like for her to go to school in Egypt, but it might not be no Egypt. So we got to create our own schools. As Chuck was talking, I was writing some notes down, and he had mentioned something in reference to how we have the rap music and we have the artists. And I wrote down a note here and it says symbolism without substance. A lot of us can speak the words, but what's speaking the words without having substance to the word? Are you following me? So a lot of times I don't want the rap industry to go into the year 2000 just speaking words and they have no substance. The year 2000 is approaching, and as Chuck mentioned, a lot of us will be forced to take the chip, and a lot of us are going to go against the grain and come out of the system. It's going to be a cashless society. A lot of us are just going to go with the flow, and a lot of us are just going to quote-unquote buck the system. A lot of us are going to remain Negroes. A lot of us are going to grow in their Negro-ness. So, wait a minute, white folks can make up words I can't say. Negro-ness, you know what that means. So as we approach the year 2000, the music has to progress. And what is the music? Music is a universal language. If I ask everyone in here to smile, you don't smile in a particular language. A smile is universal, right or wrong? That's the way we would like to see the music, because the music crosses cultural boundaries. Are you following me? So a lot of times you may, like Chuck was saying at the lecture, you might close your eyes and you might have a brother coming up to you using what they call ebonics. We've been using this language to try to communicate to one another on the plantation for a long time. I'm not skipping my subject, but I'm glad about ebonics. How many people familiar with this topic? How many people use ebonics daily? Don't be ashamed because there's a few white people in there. Raise your damn hand. We use it daily. We need a language that we can use to communicate with one another and lock them the hell out, right or wrong? That's what I'm glad. Now, whether or not they want to give us some dough to teach it in the school don't make a difference. We need to communicate with one another. This is what the music was doing. Then white folks hired some of us at the plantation to school them about what rap music is so they can make the money. House niggas. Negro-ness. Are you following me? Really? So now some of them got jobs and they schooling white people and they making the money. Now listen, don't get me wrong, not all white people. Well, some white people, but not all of them. But I'm saying this. We need to control it in the year 2000, just to wrap this up. Are you following me? I see a lot of us with cameras and tape recorders. I see a lot of us writing notes. I see a lot of us in back of the camera as well as in front of the camera. But in the year 2000, we need to control this. If we don't control it, then we're doomed. We're having the history of rap concert tonight, right or wrong? Who's telling the history? Excuse me? No, Hot 97 is telling it. And you don't own Hot 97, do you? So we need to control it so we can tell our own story. Are you following me? So now if the history of rap goes down tonight, right? Who's going to tell it in the year 2000, 2005? If Hot 97 controls it. They'll control it and they'll tell the story. For example, the last point, this whole situation with Tupac not being dead. And the 18 reasons why he's not dead, or the questions why he's not dead. If someone is controlling the life, the death, and the rebirth of Tupac, how are we going to tell that story? We don't even control it. Whether it be on the internet or the boob tube. I want to close with that. We're going to take some questions and answers.
Hey, yo, I just want to build on one word too, Griff, right? The word ebonics. Where the hell that word came from anyway? Just like we be creating our own language, you know what I'm saying? Where did that word come from?
It's a derivative of ebony.
Ebony phonics.
Ebony and phonics.
So let me tell you something, G. You know, like me, you know what I'm saying? I'm forever creating words, you know what I'm saying, and then putting it on records. Got the whole world kicking ballistics. You know what I'm saying? Everything is macadocious, macaframa. That's ebonics.
So, Flav, how would you take a grant in order to have them teach that in school? Would you take money from the government?
Nah, I teach this to us on the down low, kid. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, if we put it in schools, then they're gonna have our language, and then we'll never be able to, you know, we'll never be able to communicate, you know, without somebody else knowing what we're saying. We don't need to give it all away, even though God said we can't keep it unless we give it away, but we gotta keep some for ourselves, G, so we can have to give away.
All right.
But we're not giving away our secret language. You don't need to know that. Later, ebonics. Okay, dog.
Okay, we have a question here from Ebony from Function at the Junction Video Show.
All right, thank you. I'd like to address this to Mr. D. You talked earlier about control in the industry. I'd like to know why, after all these years, especially in hip-hop and rap, 20, 25 years, why is there not control by black entertainers as it should be? And what do you think can be done about it? Why does it take so long?
Number one, black entertainers are starting off from behind the ball. Historically, recording artists are dealing with 10%. 10% of a pie. And this is not even dealing with expenses. Once expenses come in, that 10% is knocked to 5% or whatever. If lucky, we started out.
Right in front of you guys, right?
Hey, yo, this...
My mom?
There we go, one over here. All right.
Oh, Drew, you need some what then?
Hey, Harry. Hey, John. I'm on it now.
It's history. Look, joint, G.
3 things is going down tonight.
You talking to the World Wide Web right now.
But 3 things, look at this hand, 3 things is going on tonight. KRS-One, Public Enemy, and Run DMC. Pioneers.
Yeah.
Pioneers. I mean, they were selling gold and platinum records before. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're not here, y'all done missed the joint. It's gonna be jumping off. We got Channel Live down the hall. We about to get up there and they're gonna do their thing.
Yeah.
And you know where I be, I'm gonna get up there and do my thing. You know, I heard that my man King gonna be coming down here and doing his thing. So we just politicking and having a session over here and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be going down tonight. Also, I am celebrating the birthday 30 years. Thank you. I mean, 30 years. 30 years.
That's about, we got an old period thing right here, man.
Oh, that's right.
28, 29, 30. You know what I'm saying?
3028. First peoples, and it's all like that. But make sure that y'all, y'all come back to me, and we'll be back.
History being made right now.
Being there, okay?
Doing that.
Word up, live and direct.
Yeah, live and direct.
At the fattest concert of the year, you know what I'm saying?
Hip hop history.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? Come to check out the originators of a lot of styles.
The originators.
KRS-One, Run DMC, and Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? You know how we get down with KRS-One, BDP. But the man who made me want to rhyme was Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
All three of them,
Made me want to rhyme was Chuck. Run DMC, what? Come
It's
on,
the foundation
man.
of hip-hop
That's
right
the real
here.
hardcore where nobody pulling no gat and gun unless it was on the man, you know what I'm
By
saying?
any means necessary.
Doing it the real way, the real underground raw diggy.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Uzi
how we
weighs a
feel.
ton, you know what I'm
Real
saying?
shit, yo. On the real.
Word up.
Don't get no realer.
Who does it belong to, though?
Who does it belong to? Belongs to the people in the street.
Always.
People in the street
Starts in the
create-
streets and it ends there.
Create and controls all creativity, man. All creativity.
The original, we the gases of this whole shit.
Now you talking to people right now on the World Wide Web.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them when they look up the keyword says rap? What should they find when they hit that keyword on their computer? When that rap word pops up and they hit it, what should pop up on that motherfucker?
Channel Live. What?
Channel Live, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, KRS-One, Public Enemy. Rap is just a manifestation of hip-hop culture, you know what I'm saying? It's just what comes out of the aggression, what the people feel on the street.
Yo, it's
This
about
is what it is.
It's about a voice, and
It's
on
a
the
culture.
real, like we said before, it's the voice of the people in the street.
The
But
last
people in
black
the street gotta
voice.
make sure they control it. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
If you don't hear what you like, you gotta tell brothers, yo, you need to check yourself, man. You need to come with your shit the right way. If you see somebody who can't kick it live on stage, you need to check that brother and say, yo, man, your shit was whack. And a lot of people don't be representing. A lot of people don't be representing, but we know my man Matt Lion right here, he represents always.
Tell him to get the fuck off the stage. Tell him to get out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
History of hip hop, Mad Lion. Y'all got the BDP click in the crib. What's up with the history of hip hop to you?
The history of hip hop, let's see. Well, for certain about 1 million years ago, hip hop, the originated form of culture, started off in Africa. Then it was migrated over here, where you call like the Lower West Indies. And then from the West Indies, it was picked up by a little bit of Americans.
We won't be
Free advertisement.
Nah, we won't be advertising.
Well, idealistic flex of the situation, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I want.
Let me see. The hip hop of history of hip hop. You talking to a high drunk motherfucker right now. Nah, let me drink. All right. Listen, history of hip hop. Yo man, it comes from a lot of people don't realize, but hip hop is a direct descendant of dancehall music. It's an art form of dub poetry which originated from Africa. You know what I mean? The first DJs who ever done dub poetry, you know what I'm saying, in dancehall music is people like I-Roy, U-Roy, you know what I'm saying, coming up the line. Okay, mad hectic in here. You know what I'm saying?
Making it happen, though. Making it happen.
You know what I'm saying? But we making it happen. You know what I mean? So the idealistic flex of the situation, it came over here. You know what I mean? To the United States. You know what I mean? People say it's the Bronx. Some people say it's Brooklyn. You know what I mean? But the culture, the rarest form was started in New York, so to speak. You know what I mean? Philly picked it up as well. You know what I mean? And they made it happen. And it progressed on and on. So where I stand now, down the line, is hip hop and reggae combined. The two worlds finally meeting together as one, and that's where we at with the whole situation.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah. Hip hop. Freestyle.
Rap and hip hop, the last black voice.
On the room.
That's right.
Some freestyle in there, man.
You want some freestyles?
For the internet. Word up.
Who got the Buddha skills? Used to run through Hooterville, nothing but that black magic. So my voodoo will travel down your spine, loosen up your muscle. Who wanna tussle, wrestle, whip that ass from like the hustle or the samba. Everybody pause like the comma. Rapping steady my style like Shaolin versus the Lama with the Buddha in my fist. So why try me? I'm not Dutch. You can't master my Tai Chi, Hakeem, the wise. I rise cause the ism plus green like my high. I'm high off the ism. Meat like Carmel, rappers be comic like Marvel, or caught up in the fashion fakers Gordon Gartrell. The sound goes around like a trend, but always in with
metaphors and synonyms, get more pussy than Cleopatra Sims.
As I draw upon the mic like Da Vinci, scramble rappers like eggs, cause my style is butter and gritty. Get with me as I flip the cell phone that roams like a gypsy. Nah, let me stop, man. Yo, I'm out of here.
You got Chuck D in the house.
Backstage, Garden, 97. Straight from LI, about to see BDP, Catch Wreck, Public Enemy, Run DMC, live. Peace.
Hip-hop. The history of hip-hop. Hip-hop culture is the ultimate outlet of artistic expression.
Legends. Hip-hop legends.
History of hip hop, Mother Superior.
Yo, what's up? This Mother Superior. I'm here at Madison Square Garden. About to get on with Run DMC, Public Enemy, and of course my man KRS-One. We're gonna do a little freestyle. It feels good to be here. I'm from Miami, so I didn't grow up in the culture of the hip hop in New York City. So this is like a whole new thing for me, and it's like being able to be a part of it and at the same time be a real true fan to the whole thing. So I'll be checking out everybody's show. I never seen Public Enemy live before, so this is gonna be the first time for that. KRS-One I've seen many times, so I still don't know what to expect though, because we know how he get down. And of course Run DMC, I haven't seen them yet, so this is gonna be the first time for that. And I'm just happy to be here, you know what I'm saying? So what you wanna get into now? A little freestyle? A little freestyle?
Yeah.
All right. Superior, dopest Ethiopian. Rhymes flow like eggs through my fallopian, stinging like an African scorpion. Most of all, I gets down like this. Dirty South Princess, freestyles relentlessly dropping. Like thug niggas be hoe hopping, got that coochie popping, hoping to go shopping. I won't deviate, just proceed, yes indeedy. To keep the wig tight and keep the vocab meaty. Check the CD, 17 cuts, nigga, what? Best believe it. Most see what's trendy and wanna be it. I retrieve it, bring it back to the roots and make it happen. Rugged type flow, but in a feminine fashion. Closed caption. Read it and weep. The stairs get steep at the top. Watch them wannabe MCs flip flop. Make way for the cream of the crop. De la creme. From the yam to the belly of the beast. I'm dropping gems. Yeah. Mother Superior. Yeah.